And that's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
I had a dream this podcast would be so different from the hell we're living. Welcome to Roommates Twice Removed. I'm Gracie.
I'm Justin.
And we barely know each other.
No, not very much.
And who better to start a podcast with than someone you barely know?
Absolutely. I think that's the greatest idea.
I know. Just having to sit and entertain with a stranger for an hour.
Yeah, we don't know anything about each other. Let's just talk for, and like you said, like an hour and just see what happens. See what happens.
We're just throwing shit at the wall at this point.
Yeah.
Let's explain how we know each other, actually, because that's a story.
Yeah.
That's a big story.
Grace. Short answer.
Short
right?
answer, Grace.
Yeah.
We have a mutual friend, Grace, and she's really the root of this tree.
Yes. I guess
truth.
The story starts back in about January of 2021.
Okay.
My girlfriend
of like 100 years.
100 years. We've known each other since the Industrial Revolution about.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Started dating around World War II.
Yeah. No, but really, when did you guys meet? Because I don't know if I've ever heard that story.
Yeah, we met my sophomore year, her freshman year of high school.
Okay.
And we started dating my junior year, her sophomore year.
Okay. So we're like buddies first and all that?
We were best friends first. And then,
that's really sweet.
That's not what this is about.
That's not what this is about.
The important part is she gets accepted into university, and she goes onto this like Instagram page where it's like freshmen for the college can like post and be like, hey, I'm looking for a dorm roommate. Here's my interests. Here's my major and stuff like that. And she comes across our friend Grace, who's not our friend at the time, nor your friend.
Yeah, I didn't know her then.
And then, DMs her, and they instantly have a connection.
Of course. And
become great friends. And then they go to college, and they're living in the same dorm. And then while they're in college...
I meet Grace in an elevator, a random elevator. Actually... Have you ever heard this story?
An elevator?
An elevator. So we were actually, neither one of us are math people whatsoever.
This is how much we know about each other.
No, truly. Like, we're at all the same functions.
Yeah.
Because,
of Grace.
we're in the same, because of Grace. Because of all of our friends, basically. Like, we're connected, but like, we've never really gotten to the nitty gritty.
We've never hung out outside of those functions just by ourselves.
Until we started planning for the podcast.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So I meet Grace in an elevator on our way to a math class, our freshman year of college. My first professor for that day, actually this is my first day of college, actually had COVID. And so he canceled the first class. So I was early to my second class, which was this math class. And that's when I ran into Grace. I would have never run into Grace had he not canceled that class.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're in the math building.
And they say COVID didn't do anything good.
Amen. We're just in this math building. I would never think to be in there. I don't think we've stepped foot in it since. And she's like, oh, I like your tattoo. And I'm like, oh, hey, thanks. Yeah. And of course, Grace, she gets you. She's not going to let you go. She's going to talk to you, whether or not you want to talk. And I love to talk to her. And I immediately was like, oh, wow, like she's cool. Right. But you meet a bunch of people in college and I didn't really think anything of it. I'm just like, oh, I'm talking to this girl on the way and whatever.
Oh, so the friendship did not blossom instantly.
No, but it really did. Because
the seed was planted.
The seed was planted, and I figured, okay, I've got 10 minutes till my next class. We're probably not in the same class, right? Mm-hmm. We were. Oh. Actually, Zoe was also in that class.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
We were all in that class together. Not at that point, but she transferred in after. And from the minute Grace and I met, it was like we were talking about our lucky underwear and where we were from and all that stuff. And we sat next to each other. And the first day we met, we took a picture. And we said that's going in the scrapbook. And we're going to be best friends for life. And so, yeah, Grace is just somebody that you can form an instant connection with in general.
She, recently, Zoe and Grace went on a trip to New York City.
Yes.
And on the flight back, they took separate flights there and back. And on the way back, Grace met a drunk man named Cookie.
wearing a chicken button down.
And brought his own alcohol and was like giving Grace shots of it.
Yes. And I haven't heard the full debrief of that. So.
And it's, but that's just for anyone who doesn't know her.
That's characteristic. Like when you meet Grace, you connect with her.
That story is
instantly.
not like out of the ordinary.
No, that's so common.
Yeah.
So I meet her and we just hit it off. Then I meet Zoe when she transfers in the class. And so we all hang out. They see that I'm a terrible student. I'm praying every day to pass that fucking entry level math class. We all three studied together a lot that semester, and I still hadn't met you at this point. I don't think I met you until the year, our sophomore year, Grace and I sophomore year, where you moved in with Zoe, and then I moved in with Grace.
Yes.
And that's how we're roommates twice removed, because now the three of them live together, and I live with my partner. But I don't think I met you until then.
Man, was it a Halloween? No, I don't think it was a party when I first met you. I think it was just like a small.
Remember.
I don't.
Man,
remember.
I
wish
no
that'd make this a lot better.
Story.
Yeah.
And also, both of us are not really the kind of people to just go up and strike conversation. So I feel like we were probably around each other before we ever even spoke.
Maybe. Oh.
So.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, I don't see Grace allowing us to be in the same building together without.
That's true. She will facilitate. I mean, she probably introduced us, but we're weird.
For sure. Yeah.
But we're weird. It was only up until recently where we were able to look at each other upon entering and be like, hey.
Recognize. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up? But then every single time we see each other, it always blossoms into the podcast. Talking about the podcast.
Alcohol-fueled conversation most of the time. Yeah. Every
Absolutely.
time.
Literally every time. So
and now we're not even.
Well, do you remember?
We're still
yeah,
alcohol.
We still are.
Yeah.
Do you remember how the bit was born?
The only thing about the bit of the podcast that I remember us doing, and it's so stupid. It was the fact that we would just tour different cities and towns in Pennsylvania. That's the only part I remember. I don't remember where it started from, though.
Yeah. So, let's set the scene here.
Okay.
It's actually great that you don't remember. Okay. I'm a freak weirdo, and I feel like I would have remembered a lot more had I not been borderline blackout drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really towing that line that night.
Okay.
That was in my apartment that I lived in with Grace.
Yes.
And you and Zoe lived a little further from the town that we live in now. They lived in the next town over. And so Zoe asked if we could host, I think it was her 20th birthday party. So actually we weren't drunk because we were only 20. But we hosted, I'm pretty sure. Oh Whatever. God. It was Mamma Mia themed.
Oh,
it was Mamma Mia themed. We moved all the furniture out of the way.
It was that one?
It was that one.
Oh. Okay. Yes. Sorry. Continue.
It was that one. We moved all the furniture out of the way, and damn it, did we party. We partied. And it was so fun. I think that might have been the first time we, like, really talked.
Okay, yeah.
I think truly it was. And then we were like, oh, yeah, no, we're funny. We're funny, like, low-key. And I think it's, again, the alcohol had a big role to play in that.
Yeah.
But we found ourselves sitting on the displaced couch on a random wall in this apartment late into the night. A lot of people had left. And
was the skeleton there at this point?
The skeleton was there. Okay. I have I think it's a 5-foot skeleton.
It's sizable. It's like,
yes. Yeah. His name is Wayne Gibbous. Anyway, he was there. And we are just talking, and I don't remember how the podcast came up, how that bit started, but we planned to start a podcast together and just tour from Pennsylvania from
like Pittsburgh
to Philly,
Scranton,
maybe to Scranton. Those are the only 3 cities in Pennsylvania we know.
Yeah. Well, no, I've since learned of a 4th.
Oh,
Harrisburg, which I believe is actually the capital.
That's a bold statement.
I
actually have no idea.
It's got to be Philadelphia.
I don't know.
Maybe it's not.
Harrisburg seems really historical, though.
It's like one of those. It's like how New York's capital is Albany, or California's capital is Sacramento, where it's like, what?
Yeah.
Did you just learn something by me saying that?
I'm not sure. Because that just doesn't sound right to have it be Albany, but I'm sure that it is.
It is.
That was really confident. Yeah. So, yeah. You know what? I used to know all the states and capitals. I had an app on my mom's phone when I was a kid.
What?
was a fucking geek. Anyway.
You know what? You know what's funny? No, sorry. I had a geography like game on my family iPad also, where it would show like either a fact or like the outline of a country, and you would have to guess what country it is, and then it was like one of those games where you had to like stack and like reach a line, and so then it would make the country like the outline of the country, and then it would fall, and you had to stack up. So you had to answer enough questions to stack it up to a certain height.
Wow. Okay, so we're both geeks.
And yeah, fucking doing geometry stuff on the iPad. That's what these kids are missing these days.
Geometry or geography?
What did I say?
Geometry. Well, I guess it was both because they all had to fit together somehow.
See, I didn't make a mistake. Me?
Never.
Speaking? Never. Anyway,
never.
What were we talking about?
The night that the bit was
Harrisburg.
born.
Yes.
So that night, we left with a new bit. And every single time we saw each other, literally every single time we saw each other from that point to January of this year, January 2025. That's, by the way, like 4 years. That's like 4 years.
That's a whole college education.
Of us, and it has been.
Yeah.
Of us just talking about this bit that we're going to start a podcast. And we would always end up talking, me, you, Luis is my partner, always end up talking in our little tiny group, in our clique, at any party, and it was a great time. And then we got to the point to where we're like, well, we can't talk about that because then what if we do start a podcast? So we would just stop ourselves from having conversations.
You would tell me something really, like a really good story or like a really funny thing, and I'd be like, dang, because I had like, that's like a really great reaction I just had. I'm never going to be able to recreate that.
But that's why we're doing this now.
Exactly.
And it's becoming a reality. It became an official reality at Grace's IUD removal party.
To clarify, she got it out.
Right. We weren't there when it was removed.
Yes, that would have been inappropriate.
But I would have loved to be there.
For support, for sure.
I mean, we've been through a lot together. I feel like I would have loved to be there. But you know what? I did see it on a necklace. She did wear it that night on her neck. So we went to this bar that we all like.
Yeah.
By the way, 25 fucking people or something showed up for her last minute at a bar on like a Thursday night for her IUD removal party.
IUD removal.
That's the pull this woman has.
Including like 3 of her brothers.
Who were like way older than us.
Yeah.
Like in their late 30s, I believe. And again, anytime that we have an excuse to party, baby, we're going to party. So there, I cornered Justin and I held a gun to his head. And I said, when are we going to start this podcast? And then we made a date for the planning stages to discuss if this even is feasible.
Then we made another one.
And we had about 4 or 5 meetings. And then now we're here.
A couple Amazon carts later.
Ooh. Boo. A couple Facebook Marketplace runs for these chairs, which...
You want to tell the people where you got these from?
So I got them from a halfway house. Just kidding. But it was a...
But were you though?
It was kind of a halfway house.
I guess you have no...
People were being housed in it that were in
evidence.
limbo.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
I will say they were in limbo. And we got these chairs from them. Incredibly nice guy. Didn't speak a lick of English.
He kept one of them though, right?
He did keep one of them. There was a set of 4, but we only got 3. And I'm happy with that. I don't think that we would have room for 4.
No. The
very,
third
very
one
nice guy.
is off to the side with random bags. A steamer's on it right now.
Yeah.
Cat toys laid against it.
Right. Yeah, this is the studio space indeed.
Yes.
But yeah. And then, I was going to tell you about this blanket.
Yes.
Let's just do a set tour really
This is
quick.
one of those things where she's like, there's lore to this blanket. And I'm like, what is it? She's like, I can't tell you. I have to tell you on the podcast.
Right. And it's truthfully not that interesting, but it is something to talk about.
We'll see if we can make it funny.
This was actually crocheted by my great-grandmother in the 70s.
Oh.
Yes. So it has history. I used to play with this all the time at my grandparents' house and pretend it was lava.
Okay.
The floor is
I see
lava.
that. Yeah, I can
and
see
so
that.
I would always, and also this would always be the base of the pallet if I ever wanted to like lay on the floor. Do you know what a pallet is? A blanket pallet.
Just like throwing shit on the floor?
Yeah, just put like folding a bunch of blankets on the floor. Sometimes I say that and people are like, what is that? But Yeah, just the base of it because it's real cushy.
So is it like the idea behind that is like, I don't want to sit on the couch. I don't want to be in my bed.
You know, when
where
you're a
it's, like, really
kid and sometimes
comfy.
you just want to lay on the
It's
ground.
like the floor is where it's at.
Yeah.
How
And
many
also,
layers would you usually have?
it depends.
Okay.
It depends on how much your grandparents love you. That's how many blankets they'll put down.
That's facts. Yeah.
Yeah. But so this was always the base, and it's very special to me. I've just known this blanket as long as I've been alive. It's been as, older than I am, and it's been a staple. And actually, this tattoo right here is a picture of my grandmother when she was young. My great grandmother when she was young. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. So we're connected. Sadie's here. I never met her. Wish I would have.
What's her name?
But Sadie. Yeah. She made finger puppets for children in the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
Legend.
Sweet
Legendary.
Lady. Legend of a lady. Never met her, but wish I would have.
So
in honor of us not knowing anything about each other, I think that we should state some assumptions we have.
I love this idea.
To see if we have a feel.
Yes.
Yeah, because we don't know any actual facts about each other.
No.
So these are things I assume about you.
Or should we start with facts? Stuff that we do, know for a fact about. Yeah.
I know for a fact that you're dating Zoe.
All right.
Bingo. I know that you graduated from UT.
Yes.
With a film degree.
Facts.
I know that you like to cook because you offered me chicken noodle soup sludge during our last planning meeting. And I didn't call it sludge. I never saw it. You called it sludge.
Those were my words because it at that point it had cooled off, so the collagen and it formed some gelatin, and it was and we
probably
took
very good for the skin.
Probably we took all the broth already, so it was very sludgy. But I just thought I'd offer. You never know what people like.
Actually, Grace and I had a roommate. We had 2 other roommates.
Mm-hmm.
So our 4th roommate had a vat of chicken noodle soup that she kept in the freezer.
Okay.
And every week or so, she would go in and halfway thaw it, which is not food safe. She would go in and halfway thaw it and then hack at the chicken noodle soup and then microwave the chicken noodle chicken noodle soup snow and eat it for months. Anyway, so you offered me chicken noodles. Yeah, you offered me chicken noodle soup sludge.
Yeah.
At our last planning meeting. I also know, this is just an observation.
Okay.
You are a frugal king. I didn't want to burp directly into the microphone.
Yes.
You are a utilitarian at heart.
Yeah.
You really are.
Yes.
If there is something functional, that's your criteria. It needs to be functional. Me personally, I'm going to go with the frilly. I'm going to go with the fancy. So it was really important for me to find decent looking chairs. And if you see our messages, we don't really text. If you were to look through our messages, it would be about 700 screenshots of chairs off of Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
At this point, I would say over half of
our conversation easily
is specifically about chairs.
Yes. And I think that we could have thrown some fold-out chairs in here and you would not have given a damn either way.
No.
Yeah. As long as your ass is in a chair, you're good to go. So that's one thing I know about you. Yeah.
Somehow at these fucking functions we go to, pants shitting 9 out of 10 times is brought
because
up.
Nearly everyone has done it.
Me and Zoe are outliers, apparently.
Yeah.
I would love to... This is spur of the moment. There might be 5 people watching this episode. I want to hear your pants shitting stories, though. I think I want...
It's been a long journey. My freshman year of college, I was on antibiotics for 9 months straight, which fucks with your microbiome. And...
I think Grace has very similar
stories
to that.
For sure. I had strep for 9 months straight. Nobody could cure me. And it had to be something in that dorm air. But when you're on a lot of antibiotics, your guts are not very happy with you. Sometimes you got to sneeze. Sometimes you got diarrhea at the same time. I call that the screenshot. screenshot when you fart and sneeze at the same time. So, yeah.
I had a guy, so I work at like a wing place. And so it's a lot of spicy stuff, which disagrees with a lot of people.
Yeah. Just like antibiotics.
And because we're a restaurant and we have to be cleanly, we like wash the bathrooms during the day. So for like 3 5-minute interval, like for 3 to 5 minute intervals, maybe we'll close the bathrooms like 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah.
To clean them. And one time we were cleaning them and a guy comes up to me. It's like, hey, like, is your bathroom closed? And I'm like, yeah, but it's only going to be like that for like a few minutes. He's like, well, do you guys...
panic.
He was like, you guys got another bathroom? Like, he thought we had like an employee only bathroom or something. I'm like, which we don't have, which is kind of weird to me. But I'm like, no, sorry, that's our only bathroom. He's like, okay, well, I'm on medicine, bro. Like, I gotta go. So like, what's like the...
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and so I was like,
He's
and so I'm
admitting it.
standing here in the middle of the restaurant, just like, I'm like, there's a gas station next door.
Honestly, at that point, what are they gonna do? Arrest you? I would bust in the bathroom. Who cares? Pluckers employees aren't gonna fucking detain you.
No.
If you're gonna shit your pants, it's life or death.
Just do it, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, don't shit your pants. Just bust
and I think the restaurant would rather you bust in and like have the person have to re-clean that toilet rather than shitting yourself and shit getting on the floor.
On the ground. That's much, much worse.
Yeah.
You know, my grandfather on my dad's side, Jim.
Where's this going?
Bless his heart. If there is one person that is not the fucking one, it is Jim. Jim is not the fucking one.
The one to what?
To fuck with ever. And so because he introduced himself to Luis as Crazy Grandpa Jim.
Okay.
And that is the honest to God truth. This man has had many a shit story. He's not going to ever listen to this, but I do respect this one, and I reference it a lot in my daily life. He was driving, and the urge hit, and he had to pull over at this gas station. He runs in this gas station in a tizzy, and he goes up to the counter and is like, "Where's your bathroom?"
Mm-hmm.
And the employee says, "Oh, we don't have a public restroom. It's for employees only. You'll have to go somewhere else." And he said, "I need to know where your bathroom is." And they said, "I'm sorry, sir. We can't let you in the bathroom. It's for employees only." He started undoing his belt. He said, "If you don't let me in that goddamn bathroom, I'm going to shit on your floor." They handed him the keys real quick. He went and he took a shit in the employee only bathroom. He said, "Have a nice day." And he left.
A man who knows how to get stuff done.
Yep. And that's how I want to live my life. The last thing that I know as a fact about you is that the first 3 letters of your last name are egg. And the first 3 letters of my last name are ham.
Holy shit.
Yep.
That should have gone into our branding. Probably.
I know, but I just noticed that.
Ham and egg? Like
ham and egg. That's cool, right?
Fuck. All right, guys, this might have a different name. The podcast might have a different name when you see it. No, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
And I somehow did not put that together.
Ham and egg.
That's us. Egg. Perfect.
Very neat.
All right.
All right, so what do you know about me? What are the facts that you know? I'm curious to see.
All right, so I have first one super specific, from somewhere outside of Houston.
Yes.
That's where you're from, over there. You're a nanny. You have nannied.
Also true.
You've nannied before. You are a political science major.
I am. Unfortunately.
Yep. This one, I want to tell you exactly what this says. Vegetarian with 3 question marks.
No.
Not anymore?
No.
Never?
No, I was vegetarian. It actually pains me to say. I was vegetarian for almost 9 years.
Okay.
I was vegetarian for almost 9 years. And then, for medical reasons, I can no longer be a vegetarian.
Got you. See, that's why the question marks were there. Because I was like, I feel like that's not true anymore.
I don't like meat. That's the unfortunate thing.
You don't like it?
I think chicken is vile. I've dabbled in beef lately. Beef isn't as offensive to me. And I thought it would be the other way around. I feel like chicken is the more approachable meat.
what about like what chicken dishes?
It tastes too damn chickeny. I don't know how else. It tastes like it's from an animal, and that disgusts me.
I think you just haven't had the right chicken.
Maybe so. But that's my truth.
And then my last fact is that you're Grace's best friend.
Okay.
So there you go. So that goes to show once again how
we
much
don't know anything about each other.
I went 4 for 5 on the facts section.
Facts
of this. Now we get to the real fun part.
And here's the fun part.
Some stuff that
Our
we assume. Yes.
Our assumptions.
All these, most of them baseless accusations. Maybe some.
I want to say baseless, but I feel like a lot of these just really come through in your personality.
Okay. Do you want to go back and forth on this one, or do you want to like go like
a chunk, like a statement at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do that. My first assumption, is, has been involved in multiple car crashes. And,
multiple is crazy.
And this was before
getting in the car with me today?
So this podcast, hastily put together, we'll say, well planned out, but we had to run back to your apartment.
Yes.
To grab some stuff, and so that's the first time I've ever been in your car
and
had you drive.
Mm-hmm.
And that assumption was written before, so that's not an indictment on your driving.
Okay.
I don't know. It's
my
just
driving
a
is
vibe.
fine.
It's just
the vibe.
Is
it because I just come off kind of scatterbrained?
No, I think because I did not say that you were the cause of these accidents.
Okay.
You seem, there's certain people that you're like, I bet you've been in car crashes before.
So I've been in one.
Okay.
I've been in one car accident, 1.5. The first one it was the day after my 17th birthday. I was driving a shit little car. It was like a Barbie car.
Okay.
It was a 2008 Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Shout out.
Go ahead and Google that. And it was dark and it was the morning and my grandmother was dying and I'd just come from their house and I was a little bit upset and I wasn't really paying attention.
Okay.
And I turned right on red and some lady tried to cut me off from getting in the other lane. I was trying to switch over to another lane. She was going too fast. We collided. It was a whole thing. And her name was Ramen.
Her name?
Her name was Ramen. And I have a picture of her driver's license in my phone still. And Snapchat actually made a sticker of her face. So
That's appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the only car accident I've ever been in.
What was that? You said 1.5.
1.5. I was taking the kids to the Austin Aquarium.
Okay.
Because like Justin said, I'm a nanny.
Is that a good aquarium or like?
Oh, it's horrible.
Okay, that's
it's a terrible aquarium.
I'm a huge aquarium enthusiast.
I love an aquarium.
Love me an aquarium.
I do love an aquarium.
Up in Dallas, great aquarium, Dallas World Aquarium. Shout out, go there.
The Houston Aquarium's pretty good too. They've got a white tiger.
As I've heard.
Got a white tiger. An 18-wheeler actually fell off the highway into the white tiger enclosure one time.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he was fine.
Okay, that's good.
I think he was inside, not outside.
Okay.
But that would have been really tragic. And I don't know if the driver made it, but
if I was a white tiger in an enclosure, I think being crushed by an 18-wheeler
would
that's
put
how
me out
I'd
of my
want to
misery.
go.
Yeah.
Well, not even like the misery. It's just like that's like going to Valhalla, you know?
Yeah.
That's like instead of just being like and then you just die.
Yeah, because it's quick.
I got fucking crushed by a goddamn.
And that's pretty. I don't know. I'd say that's pretty intense. And if I'm gonna die in a tragic way, it needs to be quick, but it needs to be shocking. And I want it to be
exactly. I want it to be memorable.
Memorable.
There it is.
For sure. But I think the tiger was certainly fine. I don't know if the driver was fine. If he wasn't fine, so sorry. My condolences.
What if he got eaten by the tiger? That'd be not fun, but
that wouldn't.
Interesting.
Well,
That'd make
I feel like being eaten by a tiger is a pretty metal way to go.
After crashing your 18-wheeler too.
Truly. Yeah. Falling off an overpass.
That's a 1-2 punch.
So that's very Houston. Anyway,
yes, so you're driving.
So we're driving back from the Austin Aquarium on I-35. Good Lord. And of course there's traffic.
Of course.
And I got rear-ended on I-35 going. It's not funny. There were children in the car. They were like 1 and 3 at the time. Now they're almost 4 and 6. But I got rear-ended and the guy drove off. He was in a company truck.
He drove
He drove away. There was no damage to my car, thank God.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
But we were going low-key kind of fast, and I was like, I gave him plenty of time to stop. I just feel like he wasn't paying attention.
Definitely.
And he drove off, and I pull over, and I'm trying to be calm because there are babies in the back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, guys, I'm just gonna pull over. Like, that guy just kind of bonked into us. You know, we're gonna pull over, and I'm gonna make sure everybody's okay. Are you guys good? I call my boss, their mom, and I'm like, hey, everyone's okay, but like, I don't know what to do. The guy drove off. And she's like, oh, it's fine. Like, if everyone's fine, I hope there's no damage. Just pull over. And it ended up being fine. But had I gotten the company that was on that company car, ooh, 2 children and a hit and run,
we would have a much better
We would have a much better setup here.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll count that as a win for me.
Yeah, that is a win. That is a win for you.
What's
My
your next
second
one?
assumption is when you travel in a group, you're the brains of the operation. When you go to the airport, you have everyone's passports. You don't trust anybody with the passports. You know the gate. You know the terminal. No one else knows. And it's like herding cats for you. That's how I feel. That's what your personality comes off as.
Scary. Did you talk to Zoe?
No.
That's scary accurate. My
Really?
family is I was very blessed. My parents aren't rich by any stretch of the imagination, but we were able to go on vacations throughout my childhood. So we are, as a family, airport professionals.
Wow.
We're there 3 hours before the boarding time. We're shoes off, jackets off before we even get to the TSA check-in.
See, that's crazy because I never know what the fuck is going on in the airport. And I've literally, every single time I've flown, somebody else has had my ticket and the knowledge, and I just follow them.
And you would annoy me.
Yeah.
On our, if we...
I would do better on our Pennsylvania
Yes, on our Pennsylvania
tours.
I would... Yeah, because like a pet peeve I have is when people just don't know what's going on. When they're like, because usually like aloof people are like funny to me. Like if someone doesn't know what's going on, like that's like funny sometimes.
Right.
But if it's in a place where
there's chaos,
I'm trying to get place. Yeah, like
right.
I'm trying to do something.
A lot of moving parts in the airport.
We're all trying to do something.
Especially like in the Dallas airport or like the Houston airport. Good God.
And I'm like, I get it, but like this isn't the 1950s anymore. Where it's like, what's this new flying technology? You hear about this?
Yeah.
You could be up in the sky in the clouds on this new flying, contraption. No, it's like
we've done this before.
9/11 has happened. Nothing's magical.
It really has.
Nothing's magical about this shit anymore.
No, it's run of the mill.
The one confusing thing is they do change the rules sometimes with TSA. Some airports don't make you take your shoes off. Some airports...
But what if Nah, I can't. I shouldn't. Yep, that's how you get on the no-fly list. With that joke. Okay.
But what if... No.
But what if...
But like, in like some airports, like, you only need your ticket. You don't need to show them your ID. Like, weird stuff like that.
I don't remember.
Weird stuff like that. But I'm like, you should know what you're doing.
Yeah, you should know like where you're going.
Have your stuff
as
out.
A hypocrite.
But yeah. So, but when if I'm in a group with, God forbid, if I ever flew with my friends, I'd
you would be the brains of that
I'd put them on
operation.
leashes. Like I wouldn't be able to stand it. But yeah,
Wow.
so that's a phenomenal,
fantastic. Okay.
phenomenal.
What's your next
observation or assumption? Once again, so these are all very specific, just vibey things. Okay. I went through a Katy Perry phase in middle school.
Okay, so my first Google search on my iPod Touch when I was about 7.5 was Katy Perry boobs. What did you expect me to do if you saw her squirting whipped cream from her bra? She had spinning peppermints. I wanted to know how to get there. So it was not in middle school, but you're kind of halfway right.
Something about it was like I feel like Katy Perry was important.
Katy Perry is very important.
Yeah. I will.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I mean, going off that, like, what's that album cover where she's like naked in clouds?
Oh, it's
I forget which album
Teenage Dream, I believe.
That's Teenage Dream. I remember walking through
the Cotton Candy.
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
Cotton Candy, sorry.
Yep.
I remember
Cotton
walking
Candy
through Best Buy and seeing that on a CD cover.
Yeah.
Once again, another core thing that this new generation just is missing.
We'll never understand.
What do they dude, Doja Cat looks so hot on the Spotify album. Like, they don't, you know? No. Like, you have to be walking through and being like, who is that?
Walking through Best Buy like, Auga. Katy Perry.
Whoa!
Ooh. What the fuck? That was me on my iPod Touch.
Yeah.
On my iPod Touch.
Did you get the results you wanted, or?
No, because I looked it up on YouTube. I was 7.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if I like knew how to clear my search history, but my parents like never found out. So I guess if they're listening or watching,
or they did find out, they just didn't want to bring it up.
Maybe. I don't know. Get back to me on that, Dawn and Jeff. Anyway, next for you.
Next for me, we has had multiple encounters of ghosts. Are you? I guess we should start with: are you a ghost believer?
I
in general?
am a ghost believer.
Okay.
I don't have many conscious memories of a ghost. I will say.
My mom said that when I was a baby, I was talking to the ghost of my grandmother, and I was.
I guess I'll just fuck off and die. Because my grandmother, who was not a superstitious... No, great, fuck you. My grandmother, who was not a superstitious person motherfucking ever, went to go wake me up from a nap when I was a little child. In a crib. I was a baby. Fuck you. And the way that my family knew I was awake is I would sing when I would wake up. Like, I wouldn't... Like, I've always just been a yapper, but I would also sing. So stand on the edge of my crib.
That's such a funny way to like be like, I'm awake. Just,
yeah,
come get me.
That's what I did. And so one day I was standing on the edge of my crib. There was a rocking chair in the corner. My grandmother comes in and is like, "Well, hey, Gracie, who you talking to?" And I look her dead in the eye and I say, "Uncle Doug." Uncle Doug is her younger brother who had passed away like 2 weeks prior.
Okay.
And apparently I was talking to him. Do not remember this because I was a baby. But she would not make that up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I also don't think, obviously I didn't have a grasp on death.
No.
But she was not a superstitious person at all. She didn't really believe in that. And so, yeah, that's really it. And my aunt and uncle had shadow people in their house.
All right. I guess for future reference, this is probably going to get brought up in future episodes. I'd love it to.
You don't believe in ghosts? You think it's bullshit?
Super anti-ghost.
Okay.
Enthusiast.
Well, fucking whatever, dude.
I am a ghost denier until it's 3 a.m. and I hear a sound.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, ghosts are real.
And see,
I'm about to get possessed.
And that's where it gets everybody. Is like, you're going to challenge the ghosts, and then they're going to get you.
Exactly.
Anyway. Next
assumption that I have is that you can do a really good impression of a super niche character. I feel like there's one thing, maybe not character, maybe a person, like a celebrity, but I feel like you can do a really good impression of a character that maybe like 30% of the people will understand.
I don't think so.
Damn.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I'll workshop that.
Okay. Maybe there's one that's in there that you just don't know you have.
Maybe, well, because I've never seen any movies, maybe I'll come across a character.
Yeah.
Yep. And we're going to get into that. I've never seen a single fucking movie in my life, and Justin is a film major. Do with that what you will.
And every time we talk, I'm like, it's like in this movie, and you're like,
never seen it.
And I'll bring up, these aren't like film major movies I'm bringing
up. No, they're
I'm
not
bringing
very
up
niche.
Like,
they're like
Indiana Jones. Shawshank Redemption or Indiana Jones.
Hey, I've seen half of Shawshank Redemption.
Half of it? That's good. Like the first half, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Then just stop.
Like it. Maybe I need to watch it as an adult. But I watched it partially with Luis in high school.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, this is just sad.
Well, it gets.
I mean, that as they do. As they do, but
what part like lost you?
When I don't remember.
Was it when he was locked up in solitary confinement or whatever?
I don't remember.
You didn't, okay.
It was the whole thing's about prison, but it's just the vibes of prison are just really not. My favorite.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe.
We'll find one. We'll find one for
you. My last assumption about you is that you look down on people that pee in pools. And if you ever had a pool, you would put in the chemicals to make it blue if somebody peed in your pool. And I would turn blue immediately, just to let you know.
You're a pool peeler?
Oh, I'm a pool peer. You think you can drink all day in the pool and you're going to get out every time? But you're right. You do look down. Well, I'm right. You do look down on people that pee in pools. Don't you?
Looking down is that's a pretty harsh indictment.
Well, that's why I said it.
I do judge people who
I feel that.
pee in the pool.
I really do feel
you feeling the judgment radiating.
I do. And why? There's chlorine in it.
What the fuck? What does that have to? What do you mean?
It cancels out.
No, it doesn't. You don't know what that means.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
You're still pissing. You see, like when you pee in like the ocean or like in like a lake or something, it's like turtles and fish are pissing and shitting in this all the time. And also it's huge. So it's whatever. This is a pool. This is a confined space.
Okay, so here's my retort to that. Okay. You're right. We are in a confined space.
Yeah.
You don't think the people around you are peeing? Might as well have some skin in that game. Because if I'm going to be swimming in piss, I would want it to be my own. You don't think that's a little beautiful that all of us are all of us are peeing in harmony? We're all swimming in each other's piss? Oh, so you really hate that.
So my last assumption about you is
okay.
This last one is has taken a bite of a stick of deodorant before.
Fuck no. What the hell?
Never?
That's Grace. That's not me. Hell no.
Like not even when you were a kid. I thought you seemed like
No!
I don't know why I was getting vibes.
Oh my god. No, I was such a rule follower when I was a kid. I never did anything wrong.
Got you.
Like ever. And now I'm me.
Wait, like Grace for sure took a bite of deodorant?
I bet one of her family members has taken a bite of deodorant. If not her, probably one of her siblings. One of her 100,000 siblings. There are only like 6 of them. Or
like
whatever.
a litter.
But still.
No. Grace probably.
Yeah.
Grace probably has.
Now that you say that, though, I feel like the sensation would be nice, but then it
That's
would
what I'm
be immediately met with artificial fragrance and an armpit.
Yes.
So, hell no.
So,
I've
you've never done it.
A bite. Why would you assume that about me?
I don't know. It's the vibes.
I have the vibes of somebody who would bite into deodorant.
I don't know.
Oh my god. So questions.
Yes, now it's time to learn. We're done
Now it's
with
time to
what we already know, and
we've learned a little. When you walk by somebody, or when somebody walks by you in public, and you see them, and you think they're going to be stinky. When you profile somebody and assume that they're stinky, do you hold your breath when they walk by? Or do you breathe in deeper to see if you were right?
I hold my breath.
You hold your breath?
Yeah.
You don't want to know?
I don't. Honestly, most of the time, my curiosity gets the best of me.
Yeah.
I don't take a deeper breath, but sometimes I'll be like, what's my assumption? Yep. And I just stop. And then I hold it in.
Yeah. I do that and then try and exhale the excess stinky.
Yeah.
Because
you go,
yeah, because I don't want to smell. But then sometimes there's an aftershock of a stinky person.
the aftershock.
So like they walk by and you're like, oh, like that wasn't. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. There's an aftershock sometimes.
It's like a new wave. It's like a their stink shadow.
The stink shadow
behind them.
Yeah, like the green cloud, but it's delayed. Follow-up question to this.
Please.
This just happened upon me. What, I want to say characteristics, but I'm not sure if that's the correct word. What characteristics does a stinky person have? Like when you see somebody out in public and you assume they're going to be stinky, what do they have? Like what's a telltale sign that they're going to be stinky? For me,
please, yeah, give me some more time.
It's always going to be the guy in Goodwill with a neck tattoo. Always.
Yeah, that's a good one. If I'm in Walmart, I assume anyone in there.
Did Grace and Zoe tell you that story of when they were in Walmart together that time?
Yes.
Grace and Zoe were in Walmart one time. This was actually, I think, right before the Mamma Mia party where this idea sprouted.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It was that long
I'm pretty
ago?
sure. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
They were in Walmart together, and all of a sudden they smell this horrific smell. And Zoe's like, God, like a pipe must have burst or something. Jesus Christ. And they're walking down all these aisles. And they turn on this one aisle, and they're like, oh my God, like this is horrific. Like I'm gagging. I'm gasping for air.
It literally smells like a sewage leak.
They literally said it smelled like a sewage leak. And there's this guy getting his ice cream, and he turns his head ever so slightly and sheepishly says, I'm sorry. I had a bodybuilding competition today. After they were loudly talking shit about how gross it smelled. Apparently he was just ripping them in the Walmart aisle. I'll never forget that. That makes me think.
He was like, I had a bodybuilding competition. I haven't had a carb in like weeks. It's so like his body, his whole like
just like protein.
Like his gut biome is just not.
It's just terrible.
His diet's completely.
God, so and that makes me think: if you're gonna crop dust, you got to get in and get out. If you're gonna crop dust in a Walmart,
know where the ice cream is.
You gotta. It has to be strategic.
Yes.
A strategic crop dust, because then you don't want anybody pointing fingers.
Crop dust.
Mm-hmm. Where are you on the pickles and olives / jalapeno kettle chip / hot Cheeto spectrum? Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Is this a thing?
Yeah. Well, it's me. It's for me.
Oh.
I invented this.
Really?
Probably I didn't invent this, but I want to say that I did. Think back to Algebra 1 in middle school.
Okay.
You have a grid. Like a thing that you like plot coordinates.
Oh, you're talking about it's like a political compass.
Yeah, like the political compass, or like a quadrant, like a grid.
Gotcha.
Y-axis.
Yeah.
Jalapeno kettle chip at the top.
Okay.
Hot Cheeto at the bottom.
Okay.
X-axis. Pickle on one side, olive on the other.
Olive chips?
No.
Oh.
Like pickles and olives.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Jalapeno kettle chip and hot chip.
Oh, that's fascinating. Okay.
I'm sure I sent Grace. I'm going to look for it right now. I'm going to send Grace. I think I sent Grace a screenshot of
that. That's a really intuitive map that you've.
I think that it really is a litmus test for who you are as a person. If you.
Now I got to think about it. And then olives, are we talking about green olives, black olives? Does it matter?
In my head, it's green olives, but it could be any olive.
Because I like black olives.
For me, I'm a jalapeno kettle chip olive person.
Okay. I think that's where I lie also.
Really?
Because jalapeno is that's my favorite kettle chip flavor.
Me too.
Is jalapeno.
Me too.
That's my go-to.
Yeah. Like a Miss Vicky's. Ooh, don't play with me. A jalapeno chip Miss Vicky's. Maybe that needs to be our celebratory snack.
Maybe. The closest thing I've gotten to that, by the way, just for I might cut this. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
The H-E-B brand kettle chip jalapeno flavor is magnificent. It's close to Miss Vicky's. It's the closest I've ever found.
That's good.
So yeah, I'll go with olive because I like black olives a lot. I'm not a big green olive.
What about like garlic stuffed?
Garlic stuffed olive?
Yeah.
I've never. Ooh. Shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be a game changer.
That's
also, speaking of jalapeno.
Yeah.
Jalapeno stuffed olive.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say jalapeno poppers.
Oh, those are fire.
No need to ask questions about that.
Yeah,
jalapeno stuffed olives. I didn't know olives are so versatile.
Ooh, they
culinarily.
They are culinarily versatile.
Culinarily.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Wow.
Sometimes you can get them jalapeno and garlic stuffed. And that's what I'm rocking with always.
Anyway, next question for you. You and Luis, your partner,
Yes.
go out to dinner, not at a nice place, just at like a sit down, like a Chili's or a Red Robin type of restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they bring you to your table, and it's a booth.
Mm-hmm. Hell no, we don't sit on the same side. That's weird and wrong.
That's my litmus test.
Why would you sit next to somebody if there are only two people?
It makes it harder
to talk. It makes it hard to talk. That's ridiculous. When I see couples doing that in public, I'm like, oh, you're embarrassing.
And then also when like they're like I've seen people where it's like their like legs are on top of each other, or like whenever like you're watching a movie with your significant other and like you're leaning on the couch and like.
Yeah, because you're in the privacy of your own home.
People do that like in the booth, and I'm just like,
That's
you guys
horrific.
Can't bear the idea of spending 25 minutes on like a table apart from each other.
And also, who raised you?
I want to meet them.
Who raised you?
Have a little.
If your grandmother saw you like that, what would she say? Because my grandmother, I think about sometimes I encounter people with zero manners and zero couth, and I'm like, ooh. Arlene would clock you. My grandmother's name was Arlene. Arlene would get you. She would clutch her pearls. Lord
have mercy.
She would lose her mind. She couldn't stand when people like crunched on chips too loud. Like if you're at a Mexican restaurant and you dip your chip in salsa, you break that chip in half. You make it a bite-sized piece. You don't want to have crumbs everywhere. Like some people just were not raised.
I do think shame.
Raise them right.
Shame's a big thing missing in today's society.
Yeah, shame for the right stuff.
Yes, that's what I mean.
You shouldn't be ashamed of like being
gay. No.
You should be ashamed of sitting on the same side of the booth. Christ, I don't care who you're sitting with.
Yeah.
Just not on the same damn side.
It's like, yeah, like you're like to talk to someone like they're sitting right in front of you when they're on the opposite side of the booth as you. And you each get your own booth to just kind of like lean back.
I mean, it's going to hell in a handbasket. People are sitting on the same side of the damn booth.
Anyway, and I have to like, we don't judge. Do whatever you want, I guess.
Oh, I judge. If you're sitting on the same side of the booth, trust and believe.
You are being judged.
You're being judged by me. Hey, everybody. It's about 2 hours later, and let me tell you the hell that we just lived through. We realized, honestly, way too late, that the computer that we are recording audio on, our mics are plugged into my MacBook. And don't get Justin started on the MacBook.
Fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. He hates Apple products, and that's what we're working with here because I got the ecosystem. Yeah, we realized it died. And then it took about 72 and a half hours for this bitch to charge. And then after that, we were like, oh my God, we lost the whole audio file.
Yeah, because it died. And so we booted up like GarageBand again and we couldn't find it.
Right. So then we had a little...
We've been talking for a while.
We had a little break, to say the least. Mental break. Dissociation time, waiting for the computer to charge. And then when the computer did charge, we were like, oh shit, we don't have anything. And then Zoe saved the day. Zoe is home.
Of course she did.
Thank God Zoe is home.
Yes.
Oh my God. Honestly, nothing in this world would happen without Zoe.
I don't think so.
And we were waiting on the porch, like fathers in the waiting room. Like fathers in the waiting room. And she came out and gave us this look like your child was born healthy.
Yeah.
And she figured out a way to recover the audio. So here we are.
7 pounds, 4 ounces.
7 pounds, 4 ounces.
Heart beating fine, yeah.
10 fingers, 10 toes. And yeah, so now we're back. Yeah.
So last question. What's your last meal? You are sentenced to death and they're like, just for you.
What did I do?
Let's say you let's say you killed a bar patron because they said that your jeans were too baggy, and then you said, and you were really drunk, like super drunk at this point, and you're like, fuck you, bitch, and then you pulled out a bomb and blew up the entire bar.
I had a grenade strapped to my chest. Yeah.
But you threw it off, so that you're alive still. But you blew up the entire bar.
If I'm going to be injected with poison by the U.S. government tomorrow morning.
Yeah. And by the way, they don't do this. Not the injection. They do the injection stuff.
They certainly do that.
The last meal stuff. I learned pretty recently that's like a complete myth.
Really?
It's like they only give you like what they have access to. They give you like a list and they're like this one. But you can't be like, I want an In-N-Out burger and I want like fries from
I feel like
McDonald's.
they did that back in the day.
Maybe.
I think they did that back in the day.
But now they're like, you're not special.
Fuck these guys.
We've killed too many of you.
Yeah,
right.
y'all aren't special. Y'all are just a number at this point.
No.
Yikes. Anyway, we had some time because the audio and the computer were all screwed for like 2 hours.
We were losing our minds. Yeah.
So we went ahead and brainstormed this question so it wouldn't just be out of the blue. So I have had ample time to really think.
Yeah.
My appetizers. And this is like a big meal because if I'm dying, I want the shit that I want to eat.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And you don't have
I'm
to
not
finish
holding back. I don't have to finish it. And also, this is a hypothetical. Fuck you. So, my appetizers. Fried okra.
Oh.
Fried okra.
Get down with some fried okra.
Specifically, my grandma's fried okra.
Perfect.
None of that shit from the freezer section. I'm talking Ernestine is cooking that up in some cornmeal with okra from the garden. That's what I'm talking about. And it's crisp. Okay. So I've got fried okra.
Fried okra.
Chips and queso.
Great.
Specifically also from the Mexican restaurant in my hometown, which has some tea that we could probably get into the next episode.
Stay tuned for the random ass Mexican restaurant.
The drama.
Tea? Yeah.
The tea. I actually don't know if I can talk about that.
Oh,
but
never mind.
There are a lot of rumors going on.
Oh.
Yeah. People are accusing them of some crazy shit.
Oh,
anyway,
shit.
I don't know if it's any of it's true.
No.
My last appetizer is like a charcuterie board with an assortment of really, really like fancy cheese, which they would never give to a prisoner. But I love cheese.
Oh,
like cheese.
Cheese connoisseur.
I am a cheese connoisseur. I will eat cheese day and night. If I could eat cheese all day, every day, I would eat cheese all day, every day. Mm-hmm.
Not a huge cheese guy. I can eat cheese on things, but
Okay. Whoa.
But I don't eat it like by itself.
Oh.
Like my brother and my mom, like they'll eat like chunks of cheddar cheese.
Oh,
you know?
fuck yeah. I'll eat cheddar cheese like that.
But I can't do that.
I'll probably go home and do that, to be honest. My mains, a great big bowl of pho tofu from the place in my hometown. Delicious. Pho is one of my favorite foods.
Spoiler alert. Pho's on my list.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Also shrimp gumbo.
Oh.
Yeah. Shrimp gumbo. I might get into that actually.
Got some southern stuff. Got some southern stuff on this.
But then we switch it up, right?
Okay.
Then we got 2 salmon nigiris.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That's on mine too. That's crazy.
No fucking way. Okay. And then my last main course would be a bagel with lox.
Oh, yeah.
So everything bagel, red onion. Also specifically, I'm making specific requests.
No, I'm doing that too for mine.
With dill cream cheese as well. Capers, tomato, and cucumber. Mm-hmm. For my dessert's kind of hard for me because I'm not really like, I'm not a monster. I'm not going to say I don't like dessert. Like, I'm not a freak.
Yeah.
But I am more of a savory person.
Same.
And if somebody's like, what's your favorite dessert? I'm like,
brownie.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I like keeping dark chocolate in my freezer, so when I open the freezer, I can have a little treat. But that's not going to be my last meal
treat
dessert.
For opening up the freezer.
Yeah. Just like a couple chocolate chips.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So my dessert would probably be a raspberry cheesecake.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. A slice of toast with butter on both sides, prepared in the oven.
Okay.
With mayhaw jelly on top.
What's mayhaw jelly?
Oh, Justin. So I actually have a mayhaw tattoo around my
Are
grandmother.
you serious?
Mhm. And basically, mayhaws are a fruit that I actually have some in my pantry. I made it for the first time.
Wow.
Like a couple weeks ago. I will let you have some.
Okay, yeah, please. Very curious.
Mayhaws grow in the marshy areas of the United States. So East Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas,
gotcha.
places like that. They do not grow here. And it's kind of a bummer because that means that mayhaws are kind of hard to come by if you're not in that area. And they're like kind of like little apples, almost like crab apple.
Like an apricot?
No.
Okay.
No. Just like a tiny apple.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. But flavor-wise, I would say it's kind of like a cross between a raspberry and an apple. Maybe lemon. I don't know. It's really delicious. My family has been making jelly from mayhaws for like generations on both sides, which is rare because every person I've ever met in my whole life does not know what a mayhaw is other than the people in my family.
Wow.
So my granddad, I remember standing over the stove with his special pot after he got juice from the mayhaw guy. Because if you make mayhaw jelly, you know a mayhaw guy.
You got to know the right people.
Yeah, you really do. You have to be connected. And I remember like him making it and jarring it and everything and it having to set and him being like, oh, that's not the right color. So I'm like a connoisseur with that too. And then my grandmother on my dad's side also makes it. And you can get it in the green general store, like in New Braunfels.
Okay.
Not the same.
Oh.
It's not good. It's not really that good unless it's homemade. I mean, it's fine. It's good jelly, but it's like when it's homemade, you get the real flavor of it.
Okay.
I'll nerd out about that. So over Christmas, my grandmother gave me mayhaw juice for the first time because I was like, I really want to make it. And she was like, I got you. And so I made it, and it was kind of like an ancestral ritual a little bit. And I was
You felt like something in your veins.
Yeah. I was really proud of it, and it turned out really, really great. And I was like, wow, my ancestors spoke through me in a positive way.
There you go.
This is really good. So I would have that because that reminds me of my childhood and my family and stuff. And it's also really delicious. And then also a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And that concludes my final meal.
That's a good cap off. Just do that right before the...
Yeah. As far as beverages go, I would have to say...
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I'm just flying by the seat of my pants.
No, that's good.
Double espresso with honey, cinnamon, vanilla, and a little bit of salt. Some ice, and a little bit of half and half. That's my coffee that I make every day.
All right.
Delicious, never gets old. And probably like a really good matcha.
All right.
And if I'm getting executed by lethal injection, might as well throw some alcohol in.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't really care what. Maybe like a good glass of like Cabernet.
Okay.
But there you go. That was really long-winded. And
no, that's good.
So, after my long-winded ass explanation in the history of my whole family.
Yeah.
What would your last meal be, Justin?
Mine's a lot less, I don't know, like family. I got like one.
Mm-hmm.
My family doesn't cook.
Oh, my family cooks a lot.
Like my mom, bless her heart, does not know how to cook anything.
My mom is the same, but everyone else
and then
knows.
My dad cooks, but it's in the most loving way. It's just like white parent food, where it's just ragu with some ground beef, and you put the spaghetti noodles in there, or you just put the spaghetti noodle in your bowl and you spoon over the ragu.
Yeah.
That's
and you
spaghetti.
survived.
It tasted good whenever I was a kid, and then I remember, oh my god, I remember when, because I'm from like a really small town up in Fort Worth,
right,
or outside of Fort Worth, and we started like developing a lot up there, and like some new restaurants came in that were like that. It was like food that I've never had before.
Yeah,
and I was just like, oh, this is what food's supposed to taste like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it's like, oh, this is what food is supposed to taste like. And that's when I kind of got into cooking. Was like,
cool.
I want to make food that like tastes like really good. No offense, Dad, but the shake and bake pork chops are really good.
Right, but
I like my
like a little more highbrow dishes.
Last night I made braised short ribs over like potatoes.
Justin,
for me and yeah,
God,
and it was a little better than the shake and bake. I have to say it.
No offense. What's your dad's name?
Mike.
No offense, Mike.
Michael John.
What are your parents' names?
Mike Okay. This is going to cause a little bit of a tangent, but Mike and Karen.
Mike and Karen.
My mom, one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever heard in my life was the day my mom found out about the name Karen, like the retribution it has online. It kind of gained popularity, like in like recent like memes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I remember.
Did that break her little heart?
Oh my God, I was on a call with her and she was like, so like, did you know that like people like use Karen as like a bad, like a mean people? And I'm like, yeah, but you're not one of them, Mom. I promise.
I bet
so
she's
nice.
so sweet.
She's so sweet. Everyone who meets her loves her. All my friends love her. And but she's
nice.
she's like, do people think I'm mean? I'm like, no, Mom, I promise.
That's so sad.
So think next time you're about to use Karen.
Apologize to Karen now if you've ever used Karen in a derogatory way.
Yeah, and then Dawn and don't tell me. Let's go with your dad's name is Nicholas.
The fuck? It's the same name as Zoe and Grace's dad.
Jeff, that's right. You guys have that group chat.
So Grace and I actually are going to name our children the same name because our dads have the same name, we have the same name, and then our kids are going to have the same name.
Like you're going to name him Jeff?
No.
Or just
we're gonna name them
okay.
The same
Gotcha.
name
Okay.
Because Jeff, Grace,
yes.
and then
what if you guys have
name.
So and then if you guys have opposite sex children, just like pick a neutral one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, shout out Mike
your
and Karen.
last meal.
Yes. Shout out Don and Jeff. Shout out Mike and Karen. Last meal. Appetizers. Well, I guess beverage first of all. Dr. Pepper.
Right.
Nectar of the Gods.
Right. Gonna be our first sponsorship.
I'm making it happen. Our color scheme fits almost perfectly.
We're manifesting this now. We're gonna have a Dr. Pepper.
We're manifesting
sponsorship
this now.
At some point.
I will do anything. So yeah, anything for a Dr. Pepper sponsorship. Dr. Pepper is being drank the entire time.
Yep.
Maybe I get a lot of hate for this. Maybe a glass of 2% milk.
I'm not gonna hate you for that.
Just regular milk. I get a lot of me and my fellow milk drinkers get a lot of hate.
You need the calcium.
Love me some milk. I've drank. I
would have hated on you like 6 months ago, but I'm
really?
not. Yeah.
You like milk?
I don't drink milk straight.
Yeah, straight.
But sometimes, shoot it straight. Sometimes your body's just craving the calcium, and I don't.
I just feel good after I drink milk, dude.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Shout out my lactose intolerant people. Sorry, I don't know what it's like to be you. Anyway,
sorry, you're a shitty butt.
First of the appetizers, we're going with Chili's chips and salsa.
Oh yeah.
That is.
The chips are very thin.
That's they're always overly salted, which is just how I like it. Mm-hmm. The salsa is the perfect texture for me.
And it's kind of warm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I don't like when salsa is too liquidy.
Yeah.
I don't like salsa really chunky because I'm a picky eater. I don't like vegetables, so I don't like. I could fuck on a salsa, but like, genuinely, I like it when it's all like mush. Basically, I like mush salsa.
Yeah.
Next up is more general, just fried pork gyoza.
Oh, okay.
Just because I love
with a sauce.
Gyoza, yeah. Yeah, got to get like that like sesame soy sauce with like the green onions in there and stuff.
Yeah.
Gyoza, dumplings, pot stickers. Still don't really know the difference between those three, but
yeah,
I think it's just from where they come from, like what country they originate
delicious
from.
Either way.
Any of them, I will eat.
Mm-hmm.
Last, there's this restaurant called Del Frisco's Grill.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Okay. It's like a nicer place, and they have. I don't think they invented this, but it's just where I had it first because I've seen it on other menus. Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. Holy shit!
That sounds good. I've never had a Philly cheesesteak, but I'm willing to try.
They're so okay. Wow. First of all, Philly cheesesteak top 3 sandwich for me, maybe.
Wow.
And then Philly cheesesteak egg rolls somehow makes it better because it's just like it's fried in the egg roll thing, and there's meat and cheese, and they have like a chipotle sauce on it. So good.
Yeah.
So good. You ever been to Benihana before?
No.
So Benihana is like this like teppanyaki hibachi place. Their fried rice is unmatched. So chicken fried rice is my favorite food of all time.
Oh,
chicken fried rice I love chicken fried rice. I love specifically Japanese style chicken fried rice.
Okay.
Because they use a ton of garlic, and I love garlic.
I love anything garlicky.
So Benihana chicken fried rice is the main focus of this entree. Then pho.
Love it.
Actually, from
what meat are you going with?
I'm going with raw steak.
Okay.
That like they put in there and then it cooks in the broth, you know?
I've yet to try that, but maybe I will.
So good. And then specifically from this place down the highway called Pho 99. Love that place.
Really?
Me and Zoe go there. Love it. It's the best pho I've ever had.
Better than the one here in the square?
I like it better than the one here on the square.
Oh, wow.
I know. But pho's pho. Love pho.
Okay.
Smoked turkey.
Like barbecue?
From Black's Barbecue. Listen.
Ooh, yeah.
Listen, guys.
I might have to add that.
Texans, we talk a lot about barbecue, and for good reason. We have the best. But you'll hear brisket, you'll hear beef rib, pork rib. All of them are good. Pulled pork. The hidden gem of any barbecue establishment is their smoked turkey. It is, or smoked chicken, either one. Like the white meat, when it's smoked, and
it's tender. We had a smoked turkey for Thanksgiving, dude.
Oh my god.
I was eating on that in the I was making like little turkey roll sandwiches at like midnight. Just yeah, beautiful aftermath there.
And then salmon nigiri.
Yep.
And seared tuna from this place called Nobu. It's like a really famous like sushi.
Oh yeah,
like
the fancy
really nice.
one.
I have a rich uncle who took me there.
Nice.
And it was life changing. Like legit, I was like, this is so like douchey, but it was like after I ate there, I was like, I've never had sushi before.
Yeah.
Like until I've had that. Yeah. That's what sushi is.
Because that's what it's about.
You know.
They know what they're doing there.
And then dessert, we're going back to Del Frisco's Grill.
Okay.
Chocolate bread pudding. Didn't know I liked bread pudding till I had theirs, and I was like, that shit. That's
good. Is it like chocolate chip or is it like?
No, it's chocolate.
Chocolate
it's like
bread.
Chocolate bread pudding. I don't know how it's just chocolate bread, and then it's like the perfect consistency. It's like pudding almost, but like. Wow. Chocolate bread pudding.
Chocolate bread pudding.
It's like pudding or something.
Yeah. That sounds amazing. Luis's aunt makes really good bread pudding.
Oh God, I love. So yeah, now I love bread pudding, but yeah.
Wow. Well, that honestly was really insightful because
I think so. Yeah, I think that was more insightful than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, no, I feel like we have a lot more in common than we thought.
Yes.
Because
maybe that'll be a theme.
Yeah, we've never spoken before. Not about anything like this. I mean, it's literally just been like at parties and for the podcast, but this is yeah. Nice. We have a lot of the same favorite foods.
Look at that.
Very cool. And now I'm fucking starving.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Yeah. You know what? I think
Are you done?
Too. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
I think
it's
enough.
Done. Yeah, it's totally fine. I'm good with that. Well,
all right.
I guess that's all we have for you.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you guys next Tuesday.
Thank you so much for watching and listening.
Goodness.
Peace out.
Bye. Oh my dear Lord Almighty.